Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 16th of May. This is for the Sun or the Ascendant. I'm going to give you the broad strands to look out for. Please stay with me. I will then dive deep to give you in forensic detail each of the 12 zodiac signs forecasts from Aries through to Pisces. Now this week is going to reveal the people that we can relate to, the people that we can trust, the people that share our values, but also quite starkly those that don't. In fact, it's not just going to be this week. I think it's going to be over the next 6 months, even as long as a year. I think we're all being asked to think much more about what the basis of our existence is really built upon. The sign of Taurus is very much about foundations, and it's also about our core values and, of course, everyday money. Now, the lunar eclipse, which occurs on Monday, sees the sign of Scorpio, the Scorpio lunar eclipse, perhaps letting some revelations come into the open over this next 6 months. And also because Saturn, the planet that's in the sign of humanity, of Aquarius, is T-squaring both the position of the Sun and also the Moon. I think we are seeing a big readjustment in terms of costs, our attitude to consumption, our attitude to the environment, but also those shared values or lack of them with the people that we're associating with, and especially our friends, because the sign of Aquarius is very much about friendship. But also, despite the fact that the Sun is in a rather sharp and testing right angle with Saturn this week, which is seeing us think of ways that we can be a bit thriftier, a bit more creative about how we use the money we have, there's also a very potent link between Mars and Neptune in the sign of Pisces. And that's pointing towards the potential to use our drive in a more imaginative, creative and even spiritual way, especially how we view what we have. You know, that old maxim of viewing our glass as half full rather than half empty would be one that we can all really think carefully about this week. Also, the Sun is in a terrific angle with Pluto, so transformation is still possible even though there is this big reset going on. And then in terms of more personal relating, Mercury may be in retrograde and Venus may be technically in detriment in Aries, but they're both in a very flirty angle. So some unexpected messages, proposals, invites. There could even be someone being a bit saucy, which, you know, can actually be quite a lot of fun. So there can be some levitation amongst these more serious influences. And then on Saturday, well, the Sun moves into the speedy, very nimble sign of Gemini, which is an air sign. So this is very much about things becoming more fluid, and we're flexing our intellects and we're chatting away with one another. So Mercury's retrograde is asking us to choose our words carefully, but I think it does have a very lovely link with Venus, which is delightful through these more big structural changes that are going on for us all. Now, if you would like to ascend above this zodiac broadcast and understand your own personal astrology, if you give me 3 pieces of your birth data of time, date and place of birth, I can give you a roadmap that you can use for the rest of your life. This will explore your qualities, but also help you to understand some of the more tricky patterns that may have repeated themselves in your life. Also, in my special package, you can also get a 12-month personal forecast. No 2 charts are the same. There's 30% off. Please see the link beneath this video. Now, also, if you would like to watch my Scorpio lunar eclipse special video, the link is beneath this video. And if you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be very grateful if you did. I'm nearly there at the 100,000. Please click or tap the bell notification symbol. And thank you so much for all those people who have subscribed already. Please stay with me now for your in-depth forecast. So Sagittarius, your weekly forecast for week commencing the 16th sees a stress point from the lunar eclipse in your 12th house of psychology, interacting with Saturn in your sector of everyday communications, the third house. But that's also the third house, what rules our nervous system. Now the Sun continues along with restless Uranus in the North Node in your sixth house of your physical health. So if something's a little bit out of kilter between integrating those two areas, because often we do live in quite a physical domain, if you're one of those archers that is more attuned to meditation, taking time out for yourself, just breathing, letting your shoulders come down, having some nice healing treatments, then you can really embrace this eclipse in a very positive way. But there's only so much energy we've all got, and I think it's important to understand that your nervous system just requires some extra support and care, I feel, over this next 6 months. Now, Mars is also in a conjunction with Neptune in your sector of home and emotion. Now, that can create distortion around our desires, but because it's actually forging a really positive link to Pluto in your second house of money and self-worth, and also to the Sun in the sixth house of practicalities, I think something could be shifting, and maybe that's the source of some stress. But the great news is that despite Mercury being in retrograde in your opposite sign, it does offer you an opportunity to reach out and connect. Venus is really vivacious in your fifth house, so it could be some kind of interaction or text messages or emails or even a meet-up with someone that really provides some enjoyment. And then by the end of this week, it really is all about relationships for the following month as the Sun makes its way into the sign of Gemini. But this eclipse is going to provide a backdrop for the next half year. So for us all, just creating those moments to just calm ourselves, get extra sleep if needed, but at the same time, that primes us up to be productive in a physical sense. So it's just trying to align things to deal with life's inevitable strains.